Hey, what's up, my people? How you doing? This is Dalton, and my name is Dalton. This is my YouTube channel, Dalton My World, and basically, this is going to be a commentary. So, if you don't get into commentary, you might just want to go ahead and click off. Most of my subscribers already know sometimes I do commentary, and this is going to be a decent one today. Okay, I was in the bed, sleep, and then I woke up. I woke up. Just I woke up and in my mind I realized that I'm not gonna be waiting for the stimulus check. Okay. If it comes, fine. Now, I understand those who do not have a job. I'm just trying to find one. This is my heart goes out to you. But those of us that have recently got jobs because 1.8 million jobs were created, and our economy is adjusting to its new norm. We haven't hit there yet, but it's adjusting to the new norm, which is going to be creating new jobs. Okay, jobs that you probably never even thought of or heard of. Some of them will be temporary, some of them will be permanent. Because, I mean, even right now, they have jobs, as I've said in my other videos, of task force. Okay? The federal government has created these task forces for different cities to go out and make sure everybody's following the coronavirus uh, uh, regulations. You know, these businesses. Um, they are creating new jobs as we speak. Okay, and they're hiring for trackers. So trackers are people. They're supposed to be hiring 1,000 people in this state of Pennsylvania alone for trackers. People who track people who have coronavirus. Okay, so they can give out warnings, let them know you've been in contact with someone that has it. Okay, now so new jobs are going to be slowly creating with this new norm. Some will be temporary, some will be permanent. Okay, but I woke up and I decided in my in my mind, I decided I got my cue cards here. I'm not gonna wait on that stimulus check. Okay, and I'll go in detail why. Basically, I'm gonna make the best out of the job I have, save as much money as I can in multiple different ways. All right, and create. And I'm gonna do my best to help people find solutions, also for problems. But I'm also, and like one of the things that I know people can do, and I know people are not crazy about it, but you gotta think outside the box now when you don't have a job. Basically, you can start making masks and selling masks. Okay, you can. I know I said it before. Uh, you can start doing most of the stuff is temporary. You can start doing the barter system. I got 15. I got food stamps, so I got 15 cans of camel soup, and I need 3K995 masks. I'll give you those cans of soup for those masks so I can go out and work. Okay, just things like that, and setting and this is for people who are already working and who recently got new jobs, and set goals, realistic goals, short and long term goals. Okay, and that way, and also go over and beyond on saving your money, using coupons or doing everything else you can. And yes, you can use coupons with EBT. Okay. And if you have to, drop your ego and file for EBT, file for food stamps. Everything I'm talking about, I'll go in detail. Okay, and I most likely a lot of the stuff I already have videos for on my site. Okay, but yeah, I woke up and I said, okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop waiting on these people. Okay, I'm gonna do for me what I can. Okay, and I'm not putting down those who don't have jobs. I sympathize with you, empathize with you. I've been there. Okay, and I know you want to work, regardless of what some people who are delusional are saying that you don't. You want some. A lot of you want to work. Okay, and I know a lot of people are very social. It drives them crazy that they have to stay at home and not do anything. Okay. Now, first thing I want to talk about. Well, that was my revelation when I woke up this morning. It was in my mind and just clicked. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is this. The Senate and the Dems, this is called God complex. Okay? To me, the Senate and the Dems, they are enjoying this 15 minutes of fame. Don't get bent. Okay? And right now, they have that God complex. If you don't know the God complex, I believe it. Help me, one Kenobi. You're my only hope. I'll be there in a minute. If you don't understand the God complex, when someone's looking up to you because you feel that you have so much power, okay, and it becomes an ego thing, okay. Yeah, you don't want to compromise. You got all the power. Okay. Why should I go down this? I got all the power. When I'm good and ready, I may decide to do this and do that and give the peasants some money here and there. Okay. Now, here's this way I see it. Yeah, and I'm talking about Pelosi as well as the representative of the Republicans too. Both of them. They're getting more attention right now than they probably had in years. Okay? And I swear to God, Pelosi, every time you look at her, she's got a new outfit on, and guess what? We as American people are paying for it. Why they cannot come to an agreement with the stimulus package. And what really, really pisses me off is if you think of it in a logical manner. American people are not asking for help for 15 years. The scientists have said that by January 2021, there are going to be several vaccines ready. All right? Several. So we're asking for help as American people. We're asking for help for 4.5 months. But as much as we've given into the government and all the money that we're paying for these people in Senate and in Congress, who are on vacation right now, as many people are getting evicted, all that money, all that our grandparents have put into the government, all that money, we're asking help for 4.5 months. And then reassess once the vaccine, because once the vaccine comes out, it's going to be several. It's not just going to be one, it's going to be several. And like any vaccine, some is going to be better than the other. Okay? But when they come out, you're going to start seeing an explosion of jobs. Some people want to stay at home, but they're still going to get the shot. But other people who are extrovert are going to be getting back out again. Okay? You're not going to have these big groups of parties where people are in denial that, or think it's a hoax, that coronavirus is real or not. Okay? Or don't want to wear masks or whatever. Because because most of those people are in denial. They just want things to go back to normal, and they're just pretending like it is until they get sick and kill their grandparents, or they die and get sick and been put in the hospital. Okay. Now, to me, Trump, now don't get me wrong, Trump has narcissistic tendencies, okay? But hold on before you get all crazy and click off. The way I see it, Trump saw the best, a narcissistic tendency person can see it in other people. And he woke up and he said, oh, I see what's going on. They got the God complex. They're feeling good with this 15 minutes of fame. And they trying to milk it out as long as they can. Okay? And what I mean by God complex, Pelosi, what people don't know is Pelosi, the Dems, they didn't give up anything. They said that they're negotiating, but they're not giving up anything. I mean, what I mean by that, they said, well, we came down $1 trillion. No, they didn't. They decided what they were going to do is stop certain programs a little bit earlier. Okay, that's not giving up nothing. But they're not giving up when it comes to trying to bail out the states. They could say, well, okay, instead of $1 trillion to all these states, how about $300 billion? Okay, and then maybe in November we can work on another one, and maybe if they reassess it, and see if we can give them more money. Because a lot of the states have the money and they're not using it. Como, just a week ago, started using money from the CARES Act for rent assistance. He's been hoarding and sitting on that money all this time. All those people that got evicted and kicked out of their apartments in New York, he had just now messed around with that money and begging for more. And then he had the audacity, that's what I'm talking about, God complex, to say, well, we might not even take any federal money from you. Sure, you can say that because you've been hoarding all this money and not giving it to the people. Sure, you can say that. You think a person who's really, really hungry is going to say, no, thank you, to the delicious, healthy, clean food that you're just giving to me out of the kindness of your heart to help me with no strings attached? Are you serious? No, the reason he can say that is because he's been hoarding all that money and not giving it to the people. God complex, but he wants more. And then he had the audacity to say, I ain't even take more federal money. Really? Enjoy your God complex while everybody else is getting evicted in New York. Okay? And the way I see it is Trump saw it. So Trump woke up. He said, oh, that's what's going on. I need to... And who better to understand a symptom than the person that has it? Who's better to understand a spiritualist or a spiritual person than another spiritual person? Who's better to understand an atheist than another atheist? And so he saw what's going on and he said, okay. Then he put those executive orders in. Where all of them make it or not, he knew he had to do something because he saw what was going on. See, Trump's been Trump. These senators and Democrats, Congress, they just getting a taste of what Trump has always been able to deal with. And they're losing sight of why they're there, or why they are really there, which is for the people. But they're going to come to a very, just mark my predictions, they're going to come to a very realistic understanding of what's going on November the 3rd. Okay? Because Congress could become all Republicans, just like the Senate, that used to be all Democrats, became Republican. Okay? Watch. But yeah, they're enjoying that 15 minutes of fame and that God complex where you could, especially when you put the carrot in front of the horse. You ever see that? And the horse keeps running and running until it's almost exhausted and never getting that carrot. But who gets the benefit? The person controlling it, working that horse, getting the most out of that horse. Now, also, isn't it weird? Number two. But number one was God complex. Number two, isn't it weird that all the money they're talking about, all this stimulus package and stuff like that, now the Republicans nor the Democrats are saying anything about giving money for technical infrastructure. And they're not saying anything about giving money to the states to upgrade the unemployment software and systems so that the people can actually get through. Okay? Seeing that the unemployment system is overworked and underpaid, isn't it time to put some money into the unemployment system so that they can at least temporarily, through this coronavirus, hire more people to work from home or in office and upgrade the system? Let's stop ignoring the small cities and states and just focus on the big one. No, it's all included. Okay, isn't that strange? Just think about that. And none of them are talking about it, even though you hear it on news all the time. Now, number three. This is my rant about these big companies. It is a known fact that these big companies, a lot of big companies, they still want you to buy their product, even though they know that people are unemployed. These companies are getting richer and richer and giving absolutely nothing back. And what I mean by this, with the exception of Twitter, the CEO of Twitter. All right. Now, let me give you an example. I was notified the other day by a friend of mine that slowly but surely Instacart is trying to eliminate their in-store workers and just have full service workers. Okay. So they don't have to give them raises. Okay. They can call them contract and don't have to step up to the plate and treat them fairly. Now, even with the in-store workers, Instacart, just an example, Instacart now is worth over $22 billion. Okay? And what they're doing, they're hoarding as many full-time workers as they can. All right? Now, here's the deal. There's more than enough work out there. But they're trying to stifle all these new companies that's trying to be like Instacart. Okay? They're trying to squash them. They're being greedy. And they're trying to get as many people as they can hired as full-time workers, and then they acting like Romans. Okay, only the strong survive. Only the best can get the badges. Everybody else have to suffer and fight for it. And they're ignoring and trying to pretend that they don't have problems. They're trying to pretend that people are not uh, tip baiting, messing with the tips of the driver, saying they're going to give them $50 and get them out there, and the driver drive off, and then they drop it down to 4. That's tip baiting. They trying to downplay the fact that more and more software bots are being created to steal the big batches and sell them to people. Take them right out of the hands of Instacart. They're trying to downplay it because they have the money to try to keep it out of the media. But this is happening. They're trying to downplay the fact that they didn't want to give PP protection, PPEs to anybody, even though the CEO got $2 billion. He's worth $2 billion, and the company's worth over $22 billion. They didn't want to get that protection to anybody until the government mandated it. Then all of a sudden, oh, wait a minute, we do have stuff. No, they had it all the time. They didn't want to give it. They're refusing to give at least 50 cents, even if it's temporary, 50-cent raises to 50 cents or $1 raises to the in-store shoppers as well as the Instacart workers. No matter how much money they're making, they're refusing to give it out. Okay, they're trying to find, these companies are trying to sideswipe, keep doing what they're doing, keep making money, and give it very, very little out. Okay, almost like legalized slavery. Okay, and what they're doing is they're doing something that I saw police did after Rodney King beating. Now this is it. Listen closely. And I don't believe all police officers are bad, so that's what I'm saying. But after Rodney King beating, instead of some police officers wanting to retrain and do better, they went to their lawyers so their lawyers can create ways or work around it so they can stay the same, do the same stuff, but somehow legally get away with it. And what they did is they created a phrase. And that phrase is, stop resisting. So even if someone is not resisting, they automatically try to yell it so they can try to be cleared of any assault. Okay? So basically, what these big companies are doing is they're throwing out pretty words and they're paying out marketing geniuses and media to make it look like they're doing all this stuff, but actually, they're not. Okay? Matter of fact, as I was stating, Instacart stopped paying bonuses. They were giving bonuses for the coronavirus for the workers. They stopped paying them. Coronavirus didn't go away. They made more money. They're worth $22 billion. Why did they stop paying them? Greed. There's no logical reason. Greed. Coronavirus is still there. They're still putting their life at risk. Greed. That's it. Okay? Now, if the CEO at Twitter could do UBI, which it's a pilot program which gives a certain amount of money to people. Okay? If he could do it and work with this program for 15 cities, for 15 different cities that's really, really desperate need right now, anybody could jump on board and join him. And if he could do it, other people can do it, but they're not doing it. You don't hear Amazon trying to do it. You don't hear Instacart trying to do it. Okay? You don't hear that. You don't hear Apple's trying to do it. Apple could just as easily say, okay. And with the new federal tax regulations that Trump put in, Apple they would bring over $600 billion that they just had sitting overseas back over to America. But they cannot give $2 billion to, or add $2 billion to the CEO of Twitter to help the American people that's been always helping them by buying their products. You see what's going on? The rich are getting richer and greedier and treating people like second-class citizens and slaves that are working, and trying to find ways around it while trying to look good. Because giving somebody an extra 50 cents or $1 during this coronavirus per hour, or however you're doing it, that's going to help them. But they don't want to do that. They want to take, but not give. And you have to have the full circle to be a successful business. And most money that they would give anyway, back to the American people, is tax deductible. So they're getting something out of it anyway. Straight up greed, people. And all people are asking, all American people are asking, is for help for 4.5 months. And they can't even get it from the government. All of the institutions they have been putting money into, they can't even get it. 4.5 months. Not 5 years. 4.5 months. That's all they asked them for. And these people in power just won't even give that. Because Pelosi could say, okay, look, I tell you what, let's drop this down to $300 billion for the states and then reassess it, okay? Because I guarantee you, and remember you heard from me, and the Republicans even said it, I guarantee you the Republicans really want to give you 2 stimulus checks. One now and maybe like one in October. Because I believe the Republicans care in their own way. But both of them, Senate and Democrats, Congress, they hooked up in the God complex. They enjoyed their 15 minutes of fame. Trump saw it. That's the only reason Democrats are pissed off, because Trump busted that bubble. He saw what was going on and he busted that bubble with that executive order. Now, final thing I want to talk to you about and rant about is this. I guarantee you, if the Democrats and the Republicans do not give hazard pay to the people that's already been working through this coronavirus, Trump right now is slowly gaining power in the polls. And that Hail Mary he did with the executive order didn't hurt him. Okay? Because he did something while the Democrats didn't. Now, I'm not saying all the executive orders are going to be able to go through, but if Democrats do try to block those executive orders, the Democrats are going to look bad. Okay? Because they haven't done crap. And then they're trying to block someone who is trying to do something. They're going to look bad. But if the Republicans and the Democrats do not give hazard pay, first of all, it's going to hurt. This number 4, hazard pay. It's going to hurt the Republicans a lot. It's going to hurt their ability to get more people out and trying to get more people out and working those jobs. Because if you don't respect those that's already doing it, whether it's in law enforcement such as police officers, armed or unarmed security guards, etc., first responders, gig workers, if you do not, all gig workers, if you do not respect them and show that you're appreciative of why would anybody else want to go ahead and risk their life and go out there and do it? If you're not even taking the ones that's doing it and showing your appreciation. Okay? And that's it. That's what I wanted to, my commentary, and I welcome your respectful comments. Okay, yes, this was a long one, but most of my commentaries are. I welcome your respectful comments. I ask you to give me a thumbs up. Okay, if you really hate my content, you can give me a thumbs down. Okay, and yes, ignore my squeaky chair. I ask you to share this. All right, let's blow up YouTube, y'all. Get this word out. But I ask you to share this. All right, and you know what to do. But I do love your comments. All right. And I will rap to you later. I just had to get that off my chest. This is my commentary segment. And I do want to hear your comments. All right? I don't expect you to agree with everything I'm saying. But if you disagree, please say it in a respectful manner so I don't have to delete your comment. Okay? Because sometimes if you disagree, you open my eyes to different facts that I might end up changing my mind about something. Okay? So, thank you. Yes, this was a long one, but I appreciate you all who held out, and I shall rap to you later. Peace out.